Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Before I get started with my review on Impact, I want to say this. I had watched the Cruiserweight Classic, and TJ Perkins, if anybody saw one of my videos before, I said was the person I liked from the very beginning. I've always liked Manic. I always thought he had potential, but TNA never really worked with him. This was the thing I never understood about the TNA. That they got talent, but they really didn't know how to utilize talent that wasn't from the WWE all the time. They always seemed to drop the ball with them. Well, he just went for the Cruiserweight Classic. He became the Cruiserweight Classic champion, and now he's currently the Cruiserweight champion for the WWE. I'm happy for TJ Perkins. He deserves this. Worked 18 years, was living in the freaking streets at one time, and now he doesn't have to worry about anything because he'll get at least, minimum, $700,000 a year to at least $2 million a year. Some people get up to 10. My guess is he'll get about $700,000 to $800,000 a year when he first starts out. Then it may go up to $1 million, not counting money from pay-per-views and merchandise. I'm happy for him. I'm happy for TJ Perkins. If I'm not putting him up on the screen, I'm dumb. I know I'm going to put him up because I got shots from the Classic. And the final match. Dude worked his ass off and got those welts right here. Damn! Woo! Did he go for a fight. But let's now talk about Impact, his former home. And was this a good Impact? This was a weird Impact. This Impact was weird. But it doesn't mean it was bad. It was just weird. A weird that you wonder, has TNA been smoking some weed? Because a lot of the segments were interesting, a lot of the segments were stupid, and a lot of segments were, what the hell is that? First thing I'm going to talk about is the TNA Grand Championship quarterfinals. First match was Aaron Rex versus Trevor Lee. It was a good match. And I don't know about anyone else. You guys tell me below if you don't like the format for the Grand Championship belt and the Grand Championship tournament. And if you don't want to continue like that. Personally, for me, I want to see that the TNA Grand Champion have to go through this once a month and have to retain his title. As stupid as this sounds, I feel like it could still work with storylines because the way they're doing it now, it's not 100% interesting. WWE isn't going to do it, and I believe that they can get away with it. New Japan Pro Wrestling does at least once or twice a year, if I'm right. I'm not sure. I don't really keep up with the New Japan Pro Wrestling brand, and I should. But this format actually works for me personally. I want to see the champion have feuds in between the month that he's supposed to go through the tournament again and re-win his title. That's what I want to see. And I am glad Aaron Rex won. And now when it came to Eddie Edwards versus Hamamali Shira, the problem I have is that the Wolves were more interesting than just Eddie Edwards himself. Than Davey Richards himself. You got the Wolves together, there was a very good tag team there, and since Davey Richards is not there, we're stuck with Eddie Edwards, and we really don't have anything interesting. I'm sorry, they're not really building him, they're not really doing anything with the X Division yet, if they're ever going to do it, and this is what we got. No, I'm going to get this over with right now, because it angers me beyond no end. An arena fight between Braxton Sutter and Rockstar Spud. TNA. Why don't you get it for your heads? Not everyone can get pop. Of course, I understand when it comes to Impact. But Explosion does not have to be exclusively on pop. Put it on YouTube on your main page instead of that pretty lady who announces something like Bound for Glory. That's for Lethal Lockdown. That's for Genesis. Put it on once a week. Put it on a Saturday and then pull it down on Sunday. And then put the woman up. That is a better subject for your fans. A better thing for your fans. A better loving for your fans, because how the hell are they going to see Explosion and understand what's going on with Braxton Sutter and Rockstar Spud if they can't see the damn thing? Explosion for YouTube. I still say X Division for Explosion, but put Explosion on YouTube. Put it on there, leave it for one day, and announce it on Impact that we make Josh Matthews do it. We're now going to put Explosion not only on Pop on Saturdays, but we're going to put it on YouTube on Saturdays. Watch for it, but be careful because we will be taking it down the next day. There's nothing wrong with that. Come on. Another thing I didn't like. The Gauntlet Match for the Knockouts. Don't get me wrong. What was the name? Lawler Van S. Coming in is great. Not happy that Ali was not allowed in the match. Wasn't. And you guys tell me below. Is Madison Rayne pregnant again? Because it seems her breasts have gotten large again. I'm not being sexist. I mean, honestly. If I don't put an image up of her chest looks way bigger than normal. I mean, she's not a huge-chested woman unless she got implants or something. Anyway, Gail Kim won the match. What happened to Jade? I'm putting her right in my face. Jade did a great job, and then they drop her. Marty Bell was doing a great job with Jade in her feud, and they dropped the feud. I don't get it. I don't like this situation. The segment before that, it was alright, but the point of this is Gail Kim should not be the only person, and I'm talking about man or woman, anyone. I don't care if it's the tag belts, I don't care if it's about the X Division, I don't care about the King of the Mountain title now, whatever. No one should go into the Hall of Fame with a title unless it's a very rare occurrence and a very special situation, and Gail Kim is not it. I'm not against Gail, I just don't believe this is right. Moose dealing with... I was going to make a title before I saw the ending with EC3 and that. Moose too soon. Because I was like, whoa, are they actually going to be pushing Moose and Lashley because they took EC3 out of the equation? And I had a feeling that EC3 wasn't gone, but it did make me a little worried that TNA was going to rush this. And I don't want to see a rush with Moose. They're already rushing him badly as it is. And he's not going to be 100% over after a couple of months. It's a good possibility that they're going to drop him even though the crowd's going to still want him to a certain extent. I'm glad EC3 came back, and that means EC3 is still going to go after Lashley. I'm fine with it. I think next week they're going to be doing a tag team with Moose and EC3 versus Lashley and Mike Bennett. I just feel like they could be doing stuff behind the scenes more than having to do in-ring work. Look, Lashley's doing great talking. EC3 is a great talker. Mike Bennett is a great talker. Of course, Moose isn't that great yet because he just started. You can always take him out of the equation, just use him to fight somebody. But in the end, you got 3 good talkers that should be talking or fighting behind the scenes more or doing segments outside the impact zone. What happened to that with them? It should be done. Maybe we'll get that in the next 2 weeks or so. Well, 3 weeks. I think it's still October 2nd. It's about 3 weeks from now. So I don't know what they're going to do, but I hope they do more segments outside the ring than inside the ring because they'll make it very difficult to work with. Let's see. Anything else? That's pretty much it except for the Hardy segments. Oh my gosh. The opening where they were at the Hardy Foundation, as you would have... I guess I'll call it the Hardy Foundation because they're being given a lot of leeway. They're getting a lot of budget to do this. And it wasn't bad. I mean, the first part about Jeff being dunked into the water and turning into the 2011 Jeff Hardy who got fucking drunk and was smoking. That one no one would have seen. Having the old Hardy title actually was a nice touch. Smoking was a nice touch until his brother threw him back into the water and turned him back to normal. The segment trying to get Vanguard 1 back was okay. The in-ring segment I felt was the weakest thing about it. Because if you're going to continue this until Bound for Glory to get the title, I felt keeping it out of the ring is the most important thing. Was the segments of Decay great? Yes, it was way better than the Hardys. Let's be honest. Rosemary, I love that woman. She's beautiful. She has a great set of boobs. And oh, I almost forgot. Tank top girl and put it in my face. I saw her numerous times. They zoomed in on her. She looked cute as hell. How you doing, lady? You look good. Anyway, back to the action of... Look, I'm not against DK. The Hardy broken part isn't bad either. If they were going up against someone else separate from each other, it would work great. But putting them together, it doesn't work as long as you actually have in-ring segments. Keeping it out of the Impact Zone is the only way you're going to keep this interesting, particularly with the opening and them doing that craziness with the lake. You must, TNA, you must keep this out of the Impact Zone. Keep it out as much as possible. Go to different locations instead of the Hardy Mansion and Foundation, as I'm calling it. Let Decay go somewhere else and do their segments. Let the Hardys go somewhere else and do their segments outside Impact. That will keep it as fresh as possible until the actual match of Bound for Glory. If they don't, this is going to burn out quickly. Within 3 weeks, it can be burnt out. With 3 segments, 3 impacts, it will be burnt out. So that's what I'm hoping for. Was this a good show? It was a weird show, and I'm going to use that for my title. This was weird, but it was still good. It was good to see a new knockout. It was good to see the opening with Jeff Hardy coming out looking with that face plate title that was stupid back then. And actually is probably more better than what the WWE is doing, especially with the Cruiserweight Championship. A purple belt? Well, at least it isn't blue and it isn't black. They leave it purple because it'll probably jump from one brand to another. That's what I'm thinking they're going to do with it. But at least it was a good show. A lot got done to a certain extent. Even though I hated Gail Kim. Even though I hate Gail Kim in this situation. I hate it. But still, it was a good show. You guys have a good day. Have a good night. And tell me, what would you like me to do? Do you want me to get my Booking the Wrestler back on again? Because I was considering doing another Booking the Wrestler and now trying to switch over to TNA instead of to WWE. You guys tell me below if you want me to try and do a couple of episodes of it. Because I haven't done it in a while. Have a good day. Have a good night. Peace.